Hey everybody, I'm going to do a really fun and cool video here, and please stick around, watch this video. Remember to give me a like. This is going to be a really cool video. We're going to do a tale of two traders. And the reason why this video is going to be so cool is because if you're not successful trading, um, it it's not your fault, basically. It's because you just have not found yourself yet. And what I'm going to do is contrast two traders here. Now we're going to start off. This is my group coaching from last year. Um, and you can see here, John S., we'll call him. He said this was about a month ago. He said, my account has doubled since December 1st. LOL. Right? And he went through my coaching. He made it his own, and he really took it to another level. Like, he's doing very, very advanced trades, but he combined writing options and spreads, and he really took my coaching to another level. He just said, I just took finding what was comfortable with, and my brain works. The key was the value part. That's what I was missing before. So John S. here doubled his account in about a month. 100% returns. Now, now this gentleman, I renamed him, and I didn't want to be part of the group. Same group, same lessons, same coaching. However, I want to contrast the differences between this guy and John S. Because this guy is at the end of his rope. He's been with me for 18 months. He's not losing any money anymore, but he's not making any money. So we're going to contrast what is the difference between one student being successful and one student not being successful. And like you can see here that I am now feeling pretty close to rock bottom, right? So I want to look at these differences, because in these two differences you may just find a reason and the answers to why you're not successful as well too, okay? Or how to make yourself even better. Okay, so I've written out the differences here to do a comparison, and let's start with the age. So both of these gentlemen, I believe, if I'm wrong guys, forgive me, are in their mid-50s. Okay. Both of them have the equal amount of time to put into the market. They both work full time. Now this is really, really critical here. As far as account size goes, John S. has 3 accounts that are substantial. We'll say over 50,000 to 100,000. I don't know exactly. But here's where we get into the big difference. Right here. AB only is on his last $10,000. Okay? Marital status, they're both married. And here's where we get into another big difference. AB, his wife has put a restriction on him and said that unless you can turn this trading around, you're going to have to quit, and you're not allowed to put any more money in. Now I want to quantify, AB is a very successful businessman. Okay? He makes over $260,000 a year as a software engineer. Okay? So, but still, he's got an emotional component where his wife has put a restriction on the amount of money that's allowed to trade. Good for her. Right? He shouldn't be allowed to trade anything more until he can prove it. But anyways, so what are the real differences? First of all, AB, before he came to me, he lost, I should write that in there, AB lost $100,000 trying to day trade. Okay? So his psychology was already really damaged. Right? Was beaten down already. His psychology was beaten down. Now, when AB came to me and he told me that he was in his 50s, he works full time, he's on his last $10,000 and he's married, what I said to him was, okay, you should try day trading, but don't expect to be successful at it. Okay? So John S., the guy that doubled his account in 1 month, he's not trying to day trade. Well, he actually is, but he's doing it in a very specific way. John S. has a large account and is not trading with scared money. Now, what AB has to do now is, if he wants to regain and maybe be able to double his account like John S.'s, he has to do what John S. is doing, which is plan out his trades the night before. But he's still up against two big psychological powers, right? Scared money, his last, I think he's got 5K left, and his wife. Those are two major psychological powers that he's going to have to overcome. Right? So, can he do that? Well, if he continues to do what he's trying to do, which is day trade on 1-minute charts, it's never going to happen. Right? So this is part of why I offer my one-on-one coaching course. Because even though John S. and AB learned the exact same material, AB failed to utilize this. In all honesty, AB actually bought the group coaching. I have given him some private lessons, a couple, because I love the guy and I think he's a great guy and I want to see all my students succeed. And when they're struggling, all I can do is give them my best advice. So in my group coaching, if for some reason just learning how the market works and doubling your money is great, but if it breaks down, right? What happens when it breaks down? Well, you have to listen to my advice, right? You have to listen and take my advice. Right? And I've been telling, right? Take my advice. I've been telling, if you don't listen and take my advice, I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make him drink. Advice. I'm such a horrible speller. Right? I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make you drink. So what is the answer right now? First of all, is to remove his emotional stress. He's going to have to sit down with his wife and he's going to have to say, look it, I'm doing something different. I'm going to try something different. And if his wife is not on board with it, then he has to stop trading for a while. Okay? He has to stop trading for a while. Right? Your home life must be stable. Okay? I recently went through a very, very hard time in September. I won't get into the personal issues, but it was very personal. And I lost a whole lot of money, even myself, because, because my fiance at the time hated trading, and everything that I did, she just poo-pooed all over it. And so I could never get my act together. And what I should have done is I should have, when she was not upset, when she was upset with it, I should have made her happy. before I kept trying to trade, and eventually it ended up in a very, very terrible thing. But if your home life is not stable, you really have no chance at becoming a good trader, because especially if you're spending all day together in a pandemic and you have a losing day and you walk downstairs and you tell your wife, I just lost 10K. What do you think that's going to do to you? And let's say it's you only have a 20K account, especially, right? You get the idea. So your home life must be stable. Your health must be stable, right? I'm pretty sure that John S., his wife is not putting any pressure on him at all. His wife probably gave him an extra blowjob because he doubled his account in January. Big difference, guys. Right? Big difference. So, I can't control things like that. I can give you my personal advice of the things that I've been through, but you must be in a stable place. Okay? All right. Next, he has to stop trying to day trade on a 1 minute chart. He's got a full-time job. How are you working 9 to 5 and watching a 1 minute chart? Right? That's impossible. You can still day trade, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can do that right now. But you have to stop doing that. But even trying to trade anymore without removing his emotional stress, which equals a larger account, he's got to go to his wife, and he's got to say to his wife, look I need to top up my account. Give me another shot here. Let me try it this way. I need to top it up to 10K. Let me just try it this way. And she has to be in agreement. If she disagrees with that, you have to just stop for now. Because you have children, and you can't be in a situation where you're stressing your family out. Right? Now, personally, I don't see why your wife would have a problem with that, because you make $250,000 a year. It's not a big deal, really. It'd be different if you were broke. So you should be able to get that, but you must get your home life stable. Don't even try, and you must have a decent size account. You can't be on your last $5,000. The pressure is way too much. 10,000 minimum. Okay? Okay. All right. Then once you get off the 1 minute charts, then you can plan your trades out. Now, this is the big difference between this guy. AB was trying to day trade everything from penny stocks to other what we call A trades on 1 minute time frames while he's working at his full-time job. John S. was planning his trades out overnight, and I will give you an example. Now, on Friday, of how the difference between the difference between what John S. was doing, for example, was, let's say John S. wanted to get long on AMAT because buyers are in control of this market. He clearly sees that. There's a big story about how there's a shortage of electric car manufacturers and chips. So he wants to be buying AMAT. Well, he would use a larger time frame chart. In this example, I'm going to use a 15-minute and a daily. And he would figure out the key levels on AMAT. Now, in this particular case, I marked off, going into this day, I marked off the 3 key levels that I would have been watching on AMAT if I had a long bias on it. Now, I set up alerts here, here, and here. And what these alerts were basically telling me was that I want to get long AMAT. These are the 2 levels that I want to get long on AMAT. And this is where I don't want to trade AMAT anymore. So the night before, I could have done all of this. I could have set a pending order up at 1243 to buy limit. Maybe I'll buy half there. Maybe I'll buy half here. Right? And my stop would go down there. I could have done that all. I could have set it up on my platform. But let's say that my job wasn't that demanding. It allowed me to, casually look at the market during the day. Well, I could have set that up, got alerts on my phone, and then waited until I got some type of candle confirmation. And now I'm long. So now I'm long. I adjust my stop. I go back to my job. I planned it all out. I have a goal in mind. Where do I think AMAT's going? Right? So before this, I think AMAT's going to 130. I had that all planned out. There's earnings coming up on February 18th. So this is an earnings drive for me. I think it's going to keep going until February 18th. I don't know. I'm just making this up. But that's what John S. was doing. John S. was also selling premiums of options below the market, knowing those different levels. Now, you might say, well, Steve, how do I know these levels? How do I know what to do? Should I be long or short? Well, that's all in my coaching now. But remember, both guys had the exact same coaching. Both guys had the exact same coaching. So they all understand what the market was doing, why it's doing it, where they're wrong, what to do. They know they should be buying. But they planned out their trades entirely differently. And they handled their trades differently with different stressors. Now, what AB was doing was AB was sitting here on this 1 minute chart. Right? And he was watching every 1 minute while he was at the office. Now let's take a day like today. Let's say he wants to get long this, so he buys right here. He's on a 1 minute chart, and he decides he's going to buy value right there, which is what I would teach him to do. So he's at the office. He's working full time. He's got all this pressure from his wife. He's watching these 1 minute charts. All of a sudden, he gets down to a level and he wants to buy, and he takes a long trade. He's got scared money right now, right? Takes that long trade and he gets stopped out. So now he's frustrated. Right? He's frustrated. Remember, he still wants to buy this, but now he's trying to adapt on a 1 minute time frame, and he sees another trade down here, except he missed it. Right? Another trade here, so he gets in that one, right? You see the difference? Like this trade here, he gets in here, but he gets stopped out again. But this trade here would have made him all of his money back. He would have got 3.5 to 1 on his money. So he would have lost this trade, would have broke even here, and would have made all of his money back. But all this stress on this 1 minute chart and all the pressure of having to make decisions minute by minute is too much. Can't do that. Right? You just can't, there's just no way to do that. But if he would have set that trade up the night before, right? So, for example, when he was looking at that level right there the day before, if he would have set that trade up, he could have set up a level in here where there was some liquidity. He could have set up a level here where there was some value. And he could have had a target up here, because we're going to earnings and there's a shortage of chips. Look at the difference in that. So now he buys an option here, places a stop down here. All the pressure is gone. He's able to make good decisions while he's at his job. Gets into the trade, it ends up working. He loves it. He thinks this is fantastic. The end of the day, he reviews it, says, I'm going to hold that trade. The next day it gaps up. He's loving it. Maybe I'll add to that trade. Maybe I'll sell some options down here. This was the difference between what these two guys were doing. The one guy was trying to micromanage a position on a 1 minute time frame. The other guy was planning out his trades overnight. Both using the exact same knowledge that I teach. Yet one of them doubles their account in a month, and the other one is just break even to a slight loser. Okay? This is one of the reasons why I harp on my one-on-one coaching, guys. Because if you're not where you're at, you got to utilize this extra $1,000 that I charge. Same material, exactly the same material. But you got to sit down with me, not just for 1 hour. Maybe it's going to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lessons, where I look at every trade that you're doing. I look at what you're doing. And if you'll see here, my final comment to AB was, he said, I agree. I have to find a process like John S. has done. Notice what I wrote. That work within your limitations, capitals. This is what he's not listening to. He's not listening to me. I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make him drink. He keeps thinking he's Superman, but he's not. Okay? So, to sum it up, tale of two traders. In this particular case, there was a lot of similarities, but the fact that one of them is with scared money and has a small account, the other one has a large account and his private life is in order. One makes 100% a month. The other one barely breaking even, till still a slight loser. Okay, guys, that's all I have to say. I hope you found some value in this. And, you know, I love all of my students. I'm here for everybody, right? Even my advanced class, this class has been running over 18 months. They all paid me for 3 months and 6 months, right? My packages are for 3 months, my group coaching, and 6 months on my one-on-one. But this class has been running for 18 months. I should have closed it a long time ago. But I don't. Because that's just the type of person that I am. I want to see every one of my students successful. And I'm dedicated. But you have to be dedicated too. Okay? And when I give advice, you have to take that advice. Otherwise, there's nothing that I can really do more than that. So my advice to AB, remove the stressor, have a slightly larger account, come to peace with your wife, or quit trading. If your wife says no, she's not on board, you got to stop. There's just no way that you can do that. Get a decent size account, stop day trading on a 1 minute chart, And finally, plan your trades out. If you work full time, the day before. Listen, if you have all day long on a higher time frame, okay? If you have all day long, day trade, right? If you can sit in front of the markets and adapt and adjust on a 1 minute time frame, day trade. But if you can't, you got to change. Okay, guys, love you all. And remember, that is why my group coaching package is so valuable. And if you're still struggling, get a hold of me and spend time with me. That's what you paid me for. Okay? Love you all. Bye for now.